And people would ask, well, who the hell is Uncle Jamie? Uncle Jamie is my uncle, and he knows more about college football than anybody that I've ever met. And he joins us right now. Uncle Jamie from Uncle Jamie's Locks of the Week. Uncle Jamie.
What's happening? Coming off a rough week, that LSU game. Boy, heartbreaker. You know I'm an LSU guy. Heartbreaker.
Tried to tell you, you got Brian Kelly fired. Some people are saying
I did.
I
I literally got Brian Kelly fired. The power of the Fanatic and Uncle Jamie picks got Brian Kelly fired. The expectation.
I sure did.
Boy, right, so boy.
Here's what we do. We do the picks after we talk a little college football. So, the big story are coaching changes in college football. And Brian Kelly, and I think we were texting afterwards. You were going to play poker and watching the game.
Yeah.
And it felt like after they got blown out by Texas A&M. It felt like he wasn't going to survive that one, and he did.
Yeah. It's interesting about the college football landscape now in regards of these coaching changes mid-season. I mean, when have you ever seen all these coaches getting axed mid-season? You went from Florida, okay, pretty good job. Then you go to Penn State. Oh, a little bit better job. Now you're going to, this is a top 3 job. I mean, LSU. I mean, they won a title under Saban, under Les Miles, under Ed Orgeron. I mean, that's the standard at LSU is the national title. 4th year, they clipped him. Now you got the governor of Louisiana saying that the AD director can't hire the next.
He's not hiring him. Yes, he's not going to hire him.
I mean, craziness. But that is a high profile, well paid, high job. So, boy, Lane Kiffin, he must have been praying to the right gods, because that guy's going to have a choice of any job that he wants for $13.5 million a year. As crazy as that sounds.
If I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm not taking the LSU job. He's got it pretty good right now. Maybe he got himself a little bit of a raise.
Yeah.
There, hold on a second. I don't think I'm on the phone.
All right. Well, now I might be on the right microphone. Maybe I wasn't before. But so maybe he got himself a little bit of a raise. But like you had said, the governor of Louisiana comes out at a press conference and says, "Yeah, we're wasting a lot of the public money on these buyouts. We are not. He's good. He is not making the choice." And he's talking about Donald Trump and everything else. But
I mean, they have no president at LSU right now, so the governor technically can act as the president of the university. So technically, he does have the authority. He already said that he's not paying Brian Kelly the buyout, that there's some morality clause in his contract. So that's going to end up in court. That's going to happen until some settlement occurs. So I mean, what a disaster down there. And I think, John, you're 100% right. As Lane Kiffin, why would you walk into that when you can walk into Florida? You can be the head coach of the Gators in the swamp for around the same money and not all that political nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, it's a high profile job and they demand you win, but they haven't been good in a while. And LSU, you had said it. I saw this stat. Every coach since 1999 had won a national championship at LSU.
Yep. Yes.
So you never look at Eddie Orgeron as a great coach, but Les Miles, same thing, but they were able to get it done. They had great athletes, they had great defenses, they had great talent on those teams. So it's a great job. It's a high profile job. It's one of the best jobs in the country, but with that comes a lot of pressure that you have to win. And I'd read something else. I forget who wrote it, but Brian Kelly had major missteps along the way heading up until this season to where he just wasn't well liked. He didn't kiss the ass of the alumni. He didn't kiss the ass of the fans enough.
Yeah.
So ultimately, when you needed the benefit of the doubt, he wasn't going to get it from the fan base, from the governor, from anybody down there.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's interesting how many knives came out after he got axed. Man, they were eviscerating this guy on social media, talk shows. Paul Feinbaum, I mean, everybody just got on the parade just to stab Brian Kelly as hard as they could after he got axed. So it's a tough job, as you said. You go all the way to LSU had arguably maybe one of the greatest college teams of all time. I mean, Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
Yep.
I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, just incredible talent on that 15-0 national championship team. Les Miles had a dominant team. You forget Jamarcus Russell. Prior to him, you had Nick Saban winning the national championship at LSU.
Yep.
Just an incredible litany, a hard job, a lot of politics, and it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out down there.
Yeah, who do they hire? I don't even know how to answer it.
I don't know. I would presume to tell you that it is going to be some level of a younger, offensive minded coach, maybe coming from somewhere you wouldn't anticipate. They got the guy. Where is he from? I drew a blank where the guy is from, but winning this year. You got Jeff Brom, the Louisville coach, well known. In regards of the quarterback lore. If you have to say one thing about how Brian Kelly lost it this year, I mean, Garrett Nussmeier, I mean, what happened to him? I mean, him and Drew Aller came in as the two Heisman favorites. I mean, what happened to these guys? Just absolutely fell off the face of the earth. Top three quarterbacks coming into the year: Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, and Arch Manning. How's that all working out for everybody?
Well, they're not going to be the number one pick, that's for sure.
That is for sure. So, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
So, a lot of people, especially after Matt Rule had the initial press conference that had "I'm going to Penn State" written all over it, and then he tried to walk it back. Earlier on Thursday, he signs an extension, so he is staying at Nebraska, got himself a raise, got himself some more years, and it felt like that's where it was trending. I don't know if that's because Penn State had said, hey, you know what, maybe it's not a great idea, or he just decided that he wanted to stay at Nebraska. I'm glad he's staying at Nebraska. It's time to see one of these through.
Yeah.
Right? Like you went to Temple, you totally changed the program. You went to Baylor, you turned that program around. You go to Nebraska, you got to stop hopping. And in 3 years, if Nebraska's no better than they are right now, and everybody decides it's probably time to move on from each other, then you go wherever you want to do. But he's got to give Nebraska a real shot to try to do something here. And if he would have left after this year, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I agree. It is interesting though how when these college jobs come up, how these coaches leverage the universities they're currently working at for extensions and more money, man. I'll just tell you, those agents are working it as much as they can. Just incredible. So, what happened to Penn State? Since Rule is out, we talked a little bit about Dan Mullen. I heard Brian Hartline. I heard
that's the name.
I heard Pat Fitzgerald, man. Pat Fitzgerald settled that whole thing with the Northwestern. Essentially, was exonerated for any wrongdoing there. Yep. Now he's a hot name. He's going to get a job. I mean, Pat Fitzgerald, you forget, he ran a winning program at Northwestern for 18 years. People forget how good of a coach Pat Fitzgerald is.
Yep.
And you can see a Pat Fitzgerald working with Pat Kraft at Penn State. That he's a Penn State kind of guy, right?
Yep.
That type. So, it'll be interesting to see how it all comes together.
Jeff Brom,
you
mentioned the Louisville coach, Jeff Brom. He's been a hot candidate. Matt Campbell, who was highly thought of. He's done a great job at Iowa State. Yeah, I would like to see. You mentioned Hartline, the former wide receiver, and he's been at Ohio State for the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I would like to see. I would like to see a younger coach that comes in, takes the program, and is able to that's his program for the next decade or so. I don't think that they're going to go for one of these veteran guys. Manny Diaz makes some sense. There's familiarity with him there. He's done well at Duke. Yeah, and then there's the Drinkowitz guy.
Yeah, Eli Drinkowitz. I mean, I don't know if you ever heard him interviewed. He's like he's a Southern intellectual goofball. I mean, I don't know what other way to describe the guy. He is. You can tell he's innately intelligent, but then he talks with this Southern drawl and this common sense. It's an interesting interview. He's very interesting guy. But he's gone to Missouri and made Missouri. He has recruited so well at Missouri, so well. Made them and made Missouri relevant in the SEC. That ain't easy, man. It is not easy. So that guy might get a job. I can see Eli Drinkowitz going to Florida. Be honest with you. That'd be a good match for him.
Yeah, Penn State. He doesn't seem like a Penn State. That's not a good. Pat Fitzgerald is a good Penn State fit.
I think you said Manny Diaz. I think he's a
Good
dark
fit.
horse, man. I've heard a lot of stuff about Manny. He's like, to your point about it, like a 10-year type coach, younger guy, was a defensive coordinator at Penn State's got a tie there. Pat Kraft has talked well about Manny Diaz. He's gone to Duke, doing well at Duke. Did not do great at Miami, but Miami's not an interesting. Miami's not the easiest place to win anymore. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
All right, and then finally, James Franklin and Bella needs. You're looking for me to fix this? Can you ask Gigi upstairs? I'll be right up. Thank you, sweetie. And then James Franklin, I didn't see if it was official, but he's going to Virginia Tech. That's the
what I heard.
James Franklin. So I have mixed feelings about it as far as him being successful, because they really, since Frank Beamer left, they haven't, and it's been a while. They have not had success at all. He recruited well in Virginia, but he also recruited well in Virginia as the Penn State coach.
Yeah,
but there's also the expectations. If James Franklin wants to go 8-3 or 7-5, 7-5, 8-4, 9-3, they're probably going to be happy to have him there because at least they're competitive. So maybe that is a good job for him.
I think it's a great job for him. I mean, as you said, he's a good recruiter. He'll be able to recruit at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, that atmosphere. I've been to a game at Virginia Tech. I saw Virginia Tech against Clemson, or Virginia Tech against Georgia Tech. That opening monologue, how they come out with the flags and enter Sandman. I mean, I've never felt mountains shake around me. I mean, 100,000 people. What a great atmosphere. It's a well-supported program. It's a great alumni. It's a good program. And to your point, they're playing the ACC. 8-3, they're happy, man. They've been a losing program, as you said, since Frank Beamer left. I mean, Beamer ball was what established Virginia Tech, but they truly have a great tradition of college football there. And he brings in some players, wins 7-4, 8-3, makes them somewhat relevant. Yeah, I think he can coach there probably as long as he wants.
Yeah, maybe one of those years they have 2 losses and they're contending to get in the college
exactly.
playoff.
Yeah,
and he can do that. And he can do that. So I was looking at it because he was a tough guy on College Game Day where he's going to win he's winning a national championship somewhere else. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I agree. Good spot for James Franklin.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll be interesting there. All right, so we got to get to the locks of the week, and Uncle Jamie is the longtime general manager of Central City Toyota. It's where I have my cars are from, like my wife, really all of our family's cars. But I've been a Central City Toyota customer since my 2005 Corolla.
Wow.
That I was driving around. It was a stick, a 5-speed stick. That's how long ago it was. 20 years ago.
Man, let's remember your 2011 V6 silver Camry. Man, you loved that car. We had to pry you out of that car because it wouldn't fit that third car seat. We had to pry you out of that car and put you in your Highlander.
The third. It was a limited edition too. Yeah, Bella, the third child. I couldn't have it. I had to get something.
Yes, yeah. Bella made you get rid of your beloved 11 Camry. No doubt.
I probably would have. But check out CentralCityToyota.com for their complete inventory. Their sister dealership, Ardmore Toyota. Everything that they have going on, great pre-owned inventory, the sales and the service. Uncle Jamie takes care of everything down there.
Indeed. So good stuff. Long-standing business. So finishing another month here and coming into November and then Toyota-thon. So it's a good time. Prices have come down a little bit in the new car market. So good time to look.
All right. What do we got? You're coming off a 1-2 week. And you almost shouldn't count the LSU games because you can't help yourself with it. Mm-hmm. So 1-1 last week. You liked Oklahoma over Ole Miss. That was a competitive game. And then what's the game you nailed?
Indiana literally eviscerated, as we both thought, UCLA they beat them by 50.
Oh yeah, that was it. They whitewashed them early in that game. So that was
they did.
All right. So what is lock number 1?
Lock number 1, we're going to go a lot of talk about Vanderbilt right now. They're getting a lot of national press. The Coach Lee was on Feinbaum. He was on McAfee. He's all over the place talking Vandy football. The quarterback's getting all the love. Pavia. So they're going down to Texas. This is the final stand for Sarkisian this year. They got 2 losses. They can't take a third loss. Arch Manning's in concussion protocol. The backup quarterback is a 5-star quarterback, Caldwell, who actually runs a really strong RPO game. So whether Manning plays or not, Texas is favored. They're home. It's a 12 o'clock game. 2.5 points. They are given. I like Texas in this game. I think nationally people like Texas. I think Vegas likes Texas for a reason. I think Vandy coming on the road as a favorite. That's a tough spot to try to win in Texas. I like Texas in this game.
It seems like every time I have expectations of Sarkisian and Texas, they let me down.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like this is the season essentially for them right here. They have to win this one. They were the number one team as the season started, and it's been disappointing. So with the backup quarterback, everybody rises to the occasion. Texas -2.5. All right, what's the next lock?
Next one, we're gonna head down to the Old Miss. So Lane Kiffin goes down to home game. He's got the South Carolina Gamecocks coming in. So talk about Coach Beamer, his son Shane Beamer. Carolina's 3-4, but a lot of close games. They play everybody tough, everybody competitive. I love their quarterback. Sellers is just is a big 6'5". He looks like a really young, raw Lamar. You know, everybody's gonna watch Lamar tonight. I'm telling you, this kid's got a lot of that type. He's got the look. You know, he doesn't have any of the polish, but he's got all the look. I like South Carolina. They're giving up 14.5 points to Ole Miss, so I think they cover. Ole Miss probably wins the game, but I think South Carolina, I think they cover the spread.
South Carolina +14.5 over Ole Miss. All right, lock number 3. What do you got?
It's a big game. So this is a college football play-in game because the loser's out. So you got Oklahoma against Tennessee in 7:30 night game at Rocky Top. You gotta love that. Dolly Parton singing it. Here comes Rocky Top as the lights go black, man. That's a great scene down there. So big game for them. Oklahoma, you know, Mateer has come back from that hand injury, has not been even a whisper of what he was previous to his hand injury. So obviously hampered by that. The defense, I don't know if you heard Lane Kiffin conducting a complete evisceration of Brent Venables about his defenses going all the way back to Clemson. That was funny to listen to. But I like Tennessee in this game. This is the kind of game Aguilar, the receivers, home, in order to keep for the college football playoff, they got to win this game. So Tennessee at home giving up 3.5 points.
There you go. Tennessee -3.5. So once again, Texas -2.5 over Vandy. South Carolina +14.5 Ole Miss, and Tennessee -3.5 over Oklahoma.
Oh, Rocky Top, Top, Tennessee. We'll see it. Big 7:30 game. Happy Halloween, everybody. Keep the kids safe out there.
Thanks for watching Middays with Marks. Like and subscribe right here. If you like and subscribe, you probably are loving what you're watching. There's more of it right here. Check it out.